I started playing Final Fantasy XIV around 2 weeks ago, and I initially set out to try the game and document my process as I play through to give you all a feeling of what the game's like. In that time, I've made some incredible friends, I've gone on some insane adventures, and I've absolutely lost myself to this immersive and beautiful world. Today, I'm sharing part 11 of that journey. What's up everyone, welcome to part 11. First off, I just want to say a massive thank you. We've just hit 10,000 subscribers on this channel, which is crazy. It's 10,000 just doesn't seem like a real number. Like that we've got to 10,000 already is just insane. So the fact that so many of you are invested in this series makes me want to make more, and I'm loving the game, so I'm going to keep making more. So thank you all so much. Also, I have got a bit of like a blocked nose or like hay fever or something, so sorry if I sound a little nasally today. Also, there will be spoilers for the main story from here, so here's your spoiler warning. Let's get into part 11. So I've been dragging my feet a lot with the main story, just because there has been a real dry period. It's been a real slog in the middle, like from level 25 to like 35. There was just this long period where the quests were just real filler, and there was just a lot of it wasn't a struggle, but it was just a real, you know, you do like 3 or 4 hours and you just have to stop and go, yeah, I need to take a break from the main story now. However, it's really started to pick up around level 35 plus. So if you saw in the last episode, we met Sid and he was looking for his airship, and pretty much everything from here has been amazing. I've been fully invested all the way. So there is a lot more main story to show you now. So from there, we went up to the snowy lands and we started looking for Sid's airship. So you had to do this big thing for all these guys where you have to prove yourself, and then you had to prove someone innocent, and you had to help them, and you had to kind of deal with the inner workings of this area and prove yourself as a loyal person in this area. And that was all to get access to the Stone Vigil, which is a dungeon in the northern part of the area. Once you get access to the Stone Vigil, that's where they believe the airship to be. So I won't show you all the quest in there because it's hours of it, but it kind of ends with, I think it's Gulamane, Inquisitor Gulamane. He was the big bad guy in this area who'd been wrongfully killing people and putting people up for execution and stuff wrongfully. So yeah, he was a bad man. And then halfway through this fight, he just turns into a dragon, which was really cool. And then yeah, once you've dealt with him, you get access to the Stone Vigil, which is your next big MSQ dungeon. And wow, I think every single episode I say, as I progress through the MSQ, I go, yo, this is my favorite dungeon so far. But yeah, the Stone Vigil is up there. It really is. It's so good. It gives me proper like Demon Souls, Dark Souls vibes. You're in like an old broken down castle in the icy lands, and there's these big dragons and drakes and creatures roaming around. Going in it as a dragoon as well felt really cool because, you know, dragons. But yeah, this place was super, super cool. I really, really liked it. One of the coolest parts is, as you're traveling around, these dragons will come along and set fire to different parts of the dungeon to cut you off from certain areas or to slow you down. And yeah, the whole thing just had like this impending doom vibe of there's a big dragon waiting for you. And all the way through, you knew you fought like a small dragon and then like a big beefy dragon. And you knew there was a big old dragon boy waiting for you at the end. And it did not disappoint. So La Habrea turns up, looking as menacing and evil as ever, and he I think he like empowered the dragon. And yeah, this was a sick fight. So in my last video, I said that like in Path of the Dead, it was nice to see more mechanics on the bosses, and yeah, people were like, oh, this isn't even hard, it gets so much harder. And yeah, I agree, it wasn't that hard, but I think when you do the beginner dungeons, there's literally one mechanic per boss or one mechanic per whole dungeon. So it really is just like tank and spank every boss with a little mechanic here and there. So when I did Palace of the Dead, I finally got a taste of like real boss mechanics where you had to actually think and be on, you know, you had to be on your toes. And we're starting to see that more in the dungeons as well. So this boss had more than one mechanic as well. So he had like one where he flew up in the air and he would pick a certain section of the map and set that, yeah, like this. So you couldn't go in that area or it'd freeze you. And then he did like these pools of ice that would stay frozen. If you stood in them, you took damage. So there was just more to it. And it wasn't hard, but you couldn't just stand there and switch your brain off. You had to be on your toes. You had to think. and you had to position yourself right. So yeah, this was a really, really good fight. And obviously it's a dragon, so it's cool. And then I always show you these parts when we get the crystals. Here we got the blue crystal.
It's blue. That's all I know. It's blue.
Crystal 5 out of 6. Yeah, this was one of my favorite dungeons so far, and I want to do it again. I really, really like this dungeon. And a weird thing happened here. As we got this crystal, I realized we got 5 out of 6 crystals. So I got this weird feeling of like, oh, I remember when we first started. Look how far we've come. I kind of don't want it to end. And like, yeah, I got a bit like nostalgic because I didn't want this part of the game to end. I was like, I don't want the 6th crystal. I just want to be at the start. Because there's like a sense of mystery, and everyone says, oh, it goes crazy in the next expansion. And I'm sure it does. But right now, there's still that fresh, not knowing anything and start of the adventure vibe. But nevertheless, we pushed on. And Sid got his airship back, which was a really cool moment. I mean, this is just like iconic to Final Fantasy games. I really like this cinematic. I feel like every dungeon now, the cinematics are getting longer and longer, which is great because I think the story is incredible. So the more story, the better. I hope people just don't mind me sitting there watching cutscenes at the start of every dungeon. But yeah, this was a really, really cool ending. And then of course we got to treat ourselves right. We just done a big piece of the story. We've got to take some time out. So I went and bought some more triple triad cards. Everyone was saying, oh my God, don't spend your money on these packs of cards. So I went and bought some more. Just because, I don't know, I just really like it. I just really find it fun. So yeah, I bought some more cards. We did get some pretty cool ones. I was just getting fed up of getting beaten by triple triad by the NPCs. So I went here, I bought a few more packs, and finally got not a great deck, but just one that will hold up against your average NPC. So I can finally beat the average player now, the average NPC now. So I realized you can queue up in the duty finder to go to the triple triad room. So I did that. So I set myself the goal, do not leave this battle hall until you've beaten every single NPC. So that is what I did. So I literally went like counterclockwise around the room with my new deck and beat every single NPC. You can see here, my deck's not great, but it is like 3 to 4 star now. So I can hold my own against like the average person. So yeah, I started winning a few games and eventually I cleared the whole room. And once I did that, I did it all again. And I finally have a better feeling for triple triad. I still play like real people and get absolutely deleted. And there's some challenge decks that I just can't really win. There's like loads of different rule sets, and when some of the rule sets are like someone's got a deck for that rule set and I haven't, I lose. So I really want to put more time in and get better at this because I think triple triad is so fun. I really want to get more of the cards as well. I don't know, people say like dungeons and there's some other ways of getting cards, and I feel like I haven't got many cards yet. So I do want to really lose myself to triple triad, but after beating bits of the story, I'm treating myself to things like this after doing big chunks of the story. So we're going to be back in this battle hall soon because everyone keeps beating me at this game. And then I just wanted to chill out tonight that night because I was kind of just done with the main story for a little bit. I want to take a break. So I just chilled out with the free company, and they showed me that like this private room, and they had like a little corner which was just full of like little plushies. I thought this was really cool. I really, really, really like the housing in this game. I think it's incredible. I mean, I want to get my own house or like my own room, but I'm a bit far away from that. So I just like seeing other people's. I've been to a few people's now and just seen their like free company house or their private house. And people are just so creative. Like this little cubby hole of like a little chill out room. I thought it was really, really cool. So I wanted to show you all. And then in one of my last videos, I mentioned that I kind of wanted to try leveling a Thaumaturge because I really liked what casting felt like. So I leveled one up to like 15. And then with the free company, we did some of those guild levels, those guild quest things where you go in and you do like a scenario and they teach you mechanics. So we tried to do a big cluster, so like the level 10, 15, 20, 25, and we tried to just chunk them all out. I think we got up to like the level 31, and these are really, really good. I don't know why, but I feel like I completely missed these when I first started playing. I don't know if you're supposed to go to a certain place to pick them up or what, but I literally had only done the first one, like the introduction one. So yeah, it was good to just churn through these. You do learn a lot of different mechanics and the experience is quite good. I got my Thaumaturge up to quite a good level. So I think when I finished, I was around level 25. I think 25 is the last one I did on the Thaumaturge, and then I did one on the Dragoon just to finish off at level 30. But yeah, so we've got the Thaumaturge, I can't say it, Thaumaturge up to level 25. So I haven't done really any of the class quests, so I'll show those in another video. I've mostly just, so what I do is every day, if I don't have time to do the daily roulette, the duty roulette, I'll wait until the end of the day, and then I'll just pick a side class that I'm leveling. So like I was doing the Paladin, the Gladiator, and now I'm just sticking the Thaumaturge in there. So at the end of every day, I'll do the duty roulette with my Thaumaturge, and he's getting the levels really fast from it. It seems like a really good way to level up. So maybe next part that I show, I'll just show you like the level 15, 20, 25, and 30 Thaumaturge up to Black Mage. You know, we'll do the whole section, kind of like I did with the Paladin. So hopefully, yeah. I don't know if I'm doing that really bad, like by missing spells from not going back there, but it just feels nice to just leveling them on the side. And it feels kind of a productive way to do it. And then just churn a bunch of the class quests out together. It's probably not the best way. And I guess like when you get to like 40, 45, 50, you should be going every 5 levels for sure. But in the early levels, it does feel nice just like cluster them all together. And then I've only ever seen the Lavender Beds, like housing district. So then we went to this other one, and as you go to the, I think this was it the Goblet? I can't remember where this one was. But as you go here and you go like up the back of all the houses, it's this area and it's like a private hot spring. And you kind of, it took me aback how cool this was. It's like a little hot spring, and you look over onto like the ocean, and it's just such a nice and relaxing area. I really want to get into housing like at the end game, because I think it just seems like such a cool place to just chill out. I had to just like take the UI off and just take it all in here, because it's just such a cool little area, and it's just tucked away, and you could easily not find this if you weren't shown it. But they kind of led me around the path to show me this. And just look at that view. I mean, who wouldn't want to end their day just looking out over that? And then I promise you some more main story. So here it is. So I pushed through more of there's kind of another big cluster of like 2 hours where you had to go find a crystal and do some stuff. And yeah, kind of long. But then you get to your ultimate reward. This is the next primal fight. And this was insane. Garuda. Wow. The fight itself was cool, but the ending cutscene after it was just insane. So I'll show that next. This next part is obviously a huge spoiler. So if you are not if you've not finished ARR, or you're not like this far in, please don't watch the next part, because it is a massive spoiler and it is so cool. So yeah, there's your warning. So basically you come here and you fight Garuda, and it plays out just like any other of the primal fights. So like Ifrit, Titan, you just go in and fight her, and it's pretty straightforward really. You fight her like normal. Every now and again she does like a big AoE where she spits out loads of feathers. You can attack the feathers, the razor plumes, and then when she does like her big AoE, you have to get behind the pillars to avoid the feathers from hitting you. So all in all, the fight was pretty standard. It wasn't too hard. I mean, I guess there's going to be like a hard version of it. People keep saying there's like hard trials, but the fight itself was fine. And I thought this was just like another primal fight. You take down this one, you get the crystal, and you save the day. And yeah, here it is. You get the green crystal, and this is the final crystal to complete your Pokedex of crystals. So I honestly thought this is kind of the end of the primal fight, and then after this we're gonna have some more long story. So I thought we'd go back to town, and there'd be some like big 3 to 4 hour lead up to the next part of the story. And that's how it's gone all the way through, right? You do a primal, and that's like your excitement, and it's kind of like a curve. Like your excitement peaks, and then you have a lot of like dry parts of the story before you get to the next big peak of story. Not here at all. So you finally get the final crystal, you get this epic cutscene. This was such a good achievement, and this felt so good to finish. And then this happens. So Gaius Van Balesart, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. You've seen this guy a ton at the start, but never in person really. He drops this huge, it looks like a giant tank, and you've got Ifrit, Titan, and Garuda, and he absorbs all their power. So you can see here he takes in Ifrit, and he gets like all the fire underbelly, like he kind of gets like dragon fire scales, and then he fights the Titan effortlessly. He just grabs the Titan's hand like he's a child, lifts him in the air, and just absorbs his power. And then he gets like beefy and muscular. You can see like he's got them shoulder pads now, and he's got like triceps now. And then, oh, this was so good. This was incredible. Then he goes up against Garuda, and Garuda's like, I think she's significantly more powerful than the other two primals. Well, that's how she makes out anyway. So you thought this would be like some epic fight, and it was like the end of Game of Thrones. It was just, nope. He just grabs her, and he's like, nah, this is done. And he just eats her. He bites her head off. Like, what? And then he gets these big, massive wings. So now this big weapon is just got the power of 3 primals. It looks absolutely disgusting. I'm guessing this is going to be like a boss or a trial or something insane. And that's going to be the next part of the story. I stopped here because I was just overwhelmed with how good the story was. You can probably hear it in my voice, but this completely shook me. How it just went from, yeah, the story's good, to let's push it to 11. People are like, oh, I get so good at Heaven's Ward, just keep going. I can only take so much. This was a shocker. This was a big good for me. So I can't see it getting better. So I'm so excited. I can't wait to keep playing. So yeah, I went fishing. I don't know. The story, every 3 or 4 hours of story just overwhelms me a little bit with how good it is. And I have to just take little breaks. So I was kind of done with the story for a bit. So I just went fishing. I got fishing up to like level 30. And I want to talk about it because a lot of people go, I've never tried fishing. I'm telling you now, fishing is fun. I want to talk about a few systems in fishing that have shocked me. So I started getting a few more of the cool spells from fishing. And there's 3 that seem really interesting. You've got Release List. I can't believe we've just done like this epic story and I'm talking about fishing. So you've got like this thing where as you catch them, you can auto-release, and you put them on a release list. So here I'm looking for a certain fish. So you can set it to auto-release the fish you don't want. Pretty cool. Then you've got this thing on number 4. I can't remember what it's called now, but basically if you catch a high-quality fish, you can attach that high-quality fish to as bait, throw that back in to have a chance of catching like a big boy fish, which is really, really cool. And then you have a thing called Patience. I think it's called Patience, where you increase the chance of getting high quality fish, and then you reduce your chance of being able to catch it. So you get this really cool combo, right, where you can sit here and you can release certain fish to target the fish you want. You can turn on Patience so you can get high quality fish. And then when you get a high quality fish, you reattach that to get a big fish. And by doing that, you can sit here for like an hour trying to get these big fish. And I'm completely lost in it. I've been sat in it. I was sat here hours. Well, not here, but all over catching fish. I love it. Fishing is just really fun. And I don't know why. And I mean, what better way to end it than here? I think we've talked about some pretty big parts of the story. We've done some fishing. We've done some triple triad. I think that covers a typical Marty video, right? So I hope you've enjoyed this one. Also, I just want to say on Saturday night, we did a live stream on Twitch, which was crazy fun. So many people turned up, completely blew me away. And it was so good. It was very similar to the one we did on YouTube. We did a lot of we did a few dungeons this time, but we also did we did the live Saturday night Jackpot draw. Yeah, so it was really good. And what I was thinking of doing is uploading some of those highlights to YouTube, just making like a 5 to 10 minute highlight reel of just all the fun stuff that happened, just so everyone else can see the best parts of that. I'd love to know if you want to see that. Something else we did as well is we watched the ARR 1.0 trailer, like the 7-minute trailer, live on stream. So I'd also be happy to put my reaction to that trailer live up on YouTube as well, if you want to see it. I don't know. Currently, I'm just putting this series up, and it's received really well. So I don't want to put something up you don't want to see. So I'd love to know in the comments if you want to see either of those things. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching. I'm absolutely loving this game. I hope it comes across in the videos. And thank you all for all your support. Other than that, guys, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.